Hi there, Taurus. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Astrogirl, and this is your forecast for October 27 through November 2nd. And finally, we're getting out of the clutches of Mercury retrograde. Mercury's been out of phase pretty much all of October, and really until the end of October, I feel like he's still not 100% back on track, that he's still rebooting, and that you may feel as if you take one step forward and two steps backwards. And it's a really good idea to wait until Mercury changes signs. Mercury is going to move into Scorpio next week, and there's going to be a full moon in your sign, in Taurus. Your full moon is coming up next week, and I really feel like it's a good idea just to hold off as long as possible. If, for example, you want to buy a car, a refrigerator, you want to sign something, you want to put in for an overseas transfer, anything that means that there's going to be contracts to be signed, that there's clauses that you may have to, sign on the dotted line, and it might be something that you have to be 100% about. And with Mercury out of phase until the 25th, he really has just started to move forward, and sometimes he takes his sweet time, and this is one of them. Now, for people in the US, of course, it's Halloween on October 31st. Being Australian, I always find this a very strange holiday and a scary one. And already all of the houses have, graves and gooks and goblins, and so you go into a store and there's like a headless person screaming at you. Like, some people really take it all the way in America with this Halloween. And I, for one, don't like it, and neither does my dog, because we were in a CVS, which is, like a place to buy, cosmetics and all that sort of stuff, and we were standing there, and all of a sudden a man who I thought was in line started screaming and like opening his cloak. It was like a dress up thing. Well, Humphrey B. Bear shot 6 foot in the air. He got a bit of a fright. So needless to say, we're not going back in that CVS anytime soon until they take that down. That's how they roll here. I know in Australia that Halloween is probably just kids eat candy and lollies, because why not? But I do think that the far out Aquarius moon is definitely going to enhance Halloween. And you might also find that with the clocks changing, we are falling back in the US, and you're springing forward in the southern hemisphere. So you're going into your warmer time, and we're falling back into our fall time, although in Los Angeles it's still 84 degrees here in the middle of winter, so we're very blessed. Speaking of blessings, I think it's really important in the world today, when you watch the news in the morning and you see just the things that happen to people on the way to work, people, in domestic violence situations, people who are just in the wrong place at the wrong time. There was just a thing about a kid who sold his car on Craigslist and died because of it. The guy didn't want to give him the money, so killed him and took the car. I don't know what the guy was thinking, that he was going to get away with it. But the kid was like, 20. And, obviously a trusting soul. And I just really want to say to everybody, have gratitude and look after yourself. Don't do silly things. Think. Never go somewhere on your own to meet someone you don't know. It's like going on a date with someone you meet online and not telling anyone where you're going and who you're going with and what his profile is, or her profile, because you just don't know. I think we're all so easy and quick to jump to conclusions about people. We don't want to seem hard. We don't want to seem politically incorrect. We don't want to sound racist. We don't want to be stereotypical. It doesn't mean anything if you get yourself into trouble. So always have a backup. Always make sure you text or email someone. Oh, I'm going to meet this guy, and we're going here, and I'll be home at 8, and I'll call you and I'll let you know how it is. Just really do that. I think it's a good idea in this day and age of modern technology, where you really know nothing about anything, and yet off you go. Have a great week, Taurus. Great speaking to you, and I look forward to speaking to you again next week.